to your chair yoga. Hello, my name is Jackie, and I will be guiding you through your chair yoga experience. So we'll go over some things that you might need: a chair, or you can use your couch or your bed, whatever you have access to. You might need a blanket, either to make your space more comfortable, your chair, your bed, your couch. Some blocks, again, helping with mobility or getting into the pose. And a strap, or you can use a belt, a string, a rope, an old extension cord. Some general housekeeping. When you are doing chair yoga, you want to make sure that you have a chair that has no wheels. You do not want wheels because your chair could roll forward, back, side to side, and that could make it unsafe for you to practice your pose. It probably would cause more injury or more harm than good. So doing the best that you can to find something that's flat is important. I keep talking about it because I really want to stress that. So more about myself, outside of my name being Jackie. I might be your colleague, I might be a friend. I've been teaching yoga for 3 years, three years now. I'm 200 hours certified. I typically teach people from like the very basic beginning. What I mean by that, it's like some folks go into yoga class, could be an intro to yoga, and they find out that the class is a lot harder and probably not as intro friendly as they would hope, especially if you're someone who's not that active or you're just getting back into the flow of things. So I like to teach from that perspective. If you were to do a class in person, I like to modify based off of what you need as a person. And yeah, so we'll just get into the actual yoga. So we went over some of the supplies that you may want to have. They don't have to be super fancy or anything, just grab what you have. Next, we're gonna get into our flow. So with the follow along, it will be 30 seconds of our exercise, or at least I'm gonna try to make it 30 seconds. Going into our seated position, we're gonna come at the edge of our chair, rolling our shoulders down and back. So right now, that's not what I'm doing. So what I mean by that is just coming up, rolling up and opening so that my chest will allow for more breath. So this is our seated mountain, allowing us to ground ourselves in our pose. You can close your eyes, breathe in through your nose or out through your nose and out through your nose. There we go. From our seated pose, we're gonna get into some neck rolls here, our mountain pose, I should say. We're just gonna slowly bring one side of our ear to our shoulder. There we go. Rolling back into the opposite side, coming down. We'll do this one more time. Next, we're gonna get into a seated cat-cow. So I'll come to the side to demonstrate. We're going to open up, push our chest out, and then arch our back. So inhaling, this is our cat, or no, this is our cow. Exhaling, our cat. From our cat-cow, we're gently gonna raise our hand up, looking up at the ceiling and arching over. If you'd like more support, you can grab your hands, coming up and over. Placing our hand behind our seat. We still have some space. We shouldn't be Scoot all the way back in our chair, couch, or our bed. We're going to gently release, and then opposite side, reaching up and over, looking up at your hands. You can be straightforward, down at the ground. Remember to breathe. Releasing our hands to our side. We're just going to take a few moments, roll out our shoulders, shake out our arms if you need to. We're going to inhale our arms up. I want to say this is a tall mountain pose. Seated, you can interlock your fingers this way. I had mentioned you can grab a strap if you needed, a blanket or a towel. Do the same thing if you're unable to like fully clasp, but you still want to get the benefits of the stretch. Use a strap. We're going to release this down, our strap or our hands. We're going to feel go our arms, and we're gently going to high five ourselves. Coming out, following your own breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Getting a nice stretch in our upper back. From here, we're going to place our hands on our shoulders and do the same thing, touching. And then we're just going to do some circles. Okay. And we'll go in the opposite direction here. Really, hopefully loosening up our shoulders a bit, getting a little workout too. Just gonna release our hands down for a little bit of a break. When you're ready, we're gonna place our hands out. And what we're gonna do is just open and close. Open as wide as you can and close as tight as you can. So this will help with more dexterity. If you want to, you can touch each of your fingers to your thumb for the same purpose. It's getting a nice hand stretch. Releasing our hands down, still opening up our chest, placing our hands on our knees. We're just going to take big circles with our torso. Loosening up our hips. And we'll go in the opposite direction. Coming back to center. We're going to extend, and this is where you can kind of come back in your chair, your couch, your bed. We're going to gently extend our leg out, and we're going to point our toes. Our fingers are here, our toes are down there. So if you're someone who's like, this is too much, you can keep your foot on the ground and do the same thing, just point. I don't know if you can see my toe, probably not. Just point. Or if you wanted to still challenge yourself, do the same thing, grab your strap, more support, and point. We're gonna move on to our chair pigeon pose. So this is calling for us to scoot up a bit and for more flexibility. So I'm able to hit my knee square with the floor, but if you're not able to do this, another option is grabbing your block or book or your coffee table and kind of just opening up this way, still have some space, or keeping your foot on the ground, doing the same thing, trying to open up as wide as you can. Again, being mindful of your posture. So if you haven't already, we'll take the opposite side. Here, opening up your chest, beginning your breath work, this time in through your nose, out through your mouth, if you haven't already started. And if you want to, you can kind of play with how your pigeon might feel. Some side, like one side might be tighter than the other, and that's totally normal. You'll just spend more time on the tighter side. When we're ready, we're gonna get into a cobra chair pose. So what that looks like is coming out, grabbing the back of our chair, pushing our chest out as if we were doing our cat pose, and hanging out here. You can allow your head, if your neck allows you to open up. And we'll gently roll out of this pose. Getting into a seated forward fold. So we'll allow more space in between our legs, and then gently come in between your legs. If you want to, you can put your palms on the ground. You can hang your head down. Up to you. You can utilize your blocks if you need. We're gonna gently take our left hand up to the air into our revolved chair pose. Look up at your hands, look at the wall in front of you or window, or look down at the ground. Try to keep our shoulders not way back here, but stacked on top. And we'll switch sides. Reaching up, looking up, or looking down, or wherever you find to be most comfortable. And when we're ready, we'll gently release our hands back down, and we'll slowly roll ourselves up and open. We're gonna do a half-seated forward fold bend, a mouthful. We're gonna extend one leg out, almost if we were pointing our toes in our previous stretch, and we're just gonna gently bend forward, hinging at our hips. You should feel the stretch in your hamstring. Try to keep a little bit of a micro bend so you're not hyperextending your knee. We'll come out, shake out our legs if we need to, and then switch to the opposite side. Again, leaning forward, keeping a little bit of a micro bend. So right now, I'm hyperextending. With that bend, we'll take some of that pressure off of our hamstring and hopefully prevent injuries. We don't want to do that. Not trying to hurt ourselves, we're trying to help ourselves. And again, gently roll out of our pose. Here is our relaxing, our meditation. So I'm scooting all the way back. If you want to, in the PDF, assuming that you have a copy of it, says to take a bolster, which is another way of saying a pillow, a fancy pillow. You don't need to have one of those. You can take your blocks, you can take your blankets, or whatever pillow you have on your couch. Extend your legs out if you like to. You can place your hands in your heart center and your belly if you want to be more meditative with your breath. Lean back to where it's comfortable for you. So I'm just going to stay right here. And we're going to begin our breath work. So we'll take, let's say, 5 breaths together. So we'll inhale into our bellies, hold, and then exhale out through our nose. That was 1. So inhaling, holding, and then exhaling. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. Our last one. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. All right, so when you're ready, begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, come back into a nice upright position. And that was our pretty simple chair yoga flow. So, with anything, you want to continue to do do the flow consistently. If you found that some poses were harder than others, definitely work your way up to them, but don't not do them if it's an issue of just not being used to moving your body in a certain way. Eventually, you'll gain that flexibility that you are looking for. You'll gain that mobility, and hopefully, you'll feel a lot better sitting at your computer at work. Yes, so my name is Jackie, and I am going to awkwardly say goodbye.